not the valve, but just turn it off up there, and then the pilot light is all it'll be. So, I don't know if you saw Carla sent the thing out, nothing from.
I didn't send it out because Sarah said she printed her.
That's fine, but I just, my.
Oh, it's 7 o'clock.
Says Amazon board. Check and see if I got that thing, which I think we did. Check here. Okay, ready? All right, it is 7 o'clock. We're gonna hold the University Park Board meeting February 11th, 2025. It's gonna be on Zoom also, so okay. Notice all attendants will need to state their first and last name on the sign-in sheet or have their first and last name displayed on the Zoom meetings. This is for proper record keeping of the UP public meetings. If your first and last name is not displayed properly on Zoom, you can provide it in the chat or speak it aloud at the start of the meeting. If your first and last name has not been recorded by 5 minutes after the start of the meeting, you will be removed from the Zoom. This meeting is being recorded, including both live and Zoom audiences for future reference. Viewer discretion is advised. To adhere to proper record keeping, the audio and visual recording will stay active throughout all Zoom meetings. So, call to order, board members present as Sarah Dahl, James Slaymaker, and Joanne Zahner is on the Zoom call. She's not here in the clubhouse, but she is here. Announcements: the clubhouse bathroom continues to be closed until further notice due to the damage to the water line that happened during the construction of the new firehouse. There's a porta potty at the location of the new firehouse. If anyone needs that bathroom, they are welcome to use it. They've said that it's available if needed. It's going to warm up here in another month, it looks like, so we'll push them to see where we are with getting the water line turned back on. All right. Audience comments. Please stand and state your name if you have any comments. Keep comments under 5 minutes. Be brief and respectful of the board and other community members. The audience will have the opportunity to take part in discussion of agenda items in the order that they appear on the agenda. So at this time, does the audience have any comments about the room? Any comments in the room? Are there any comments online? Any comments from the board?
No, just that Kim and Jeff, they don't have their audio working, so they can't hear anything, but they're working on it.
We ain't waiting. Okay, so no additional comments. So we're gonna we're gonna discuss approving the January meeting minutes and financial reports. So it got sent out. It's on the website. So were there any comments on the financial and the January financial and meeting minutes? Anything in the room? Anything online? Anything from the board?
I have one comment which we could maybe discuss later on the January report. The funds remaining for the HUD lawyer is down to $110, and there is a bill larger than that outstanding for January. But there is $2,300 left in the already approved funds to the lawyer to enforce the covenants. Can we move some of that to the HUD lawyer category so that I can pay that bill, or do you want to approve additional funds for the HUD lawyer?
No, I think just pay out of the general funds that have been authorized. Yeah, it's called lawyer funds. I thought we only had one bill. You paid that a couple days ago, didn't you? Did another one come in?
No, maybe I did pay the.
Okay, but we may, I see what you're saying, it may be short though, but in the future, just pull the general.
The check that I wrote, I think is larger than that 110, but.
Okay.
And then on the annual financials, that's tough to read. There's a couple notes on the bottom right-hand side. The one thing that I do want to call attention to, the expenses for the rental are significantly lower this year than they were last year. One, that's because we did a lot of renovations in 2023. We did not do any extensive renovations in 2024, and the same tenants renewed and stayed in the rental. So we did not get a chance to get in there and do just general maintenance and updating. And then Sarah forgot to pay the property taxes. They have been paid since then, and the penalties were only $27.27. But I did plug those in there on the 2024 annual, even though they got paid in February of 2025. Just FYI.
Right, just the math looks right. I see what you did. That's fine. That sounds good. Okay, so any other comments then for the January? So let's see here. So excuse me, do I hear a motion to approve the January meeting minutes and financial report?
I will motion. Oh, go ahead. Your voice is
I
better.
motion that we approve the January financials and the end of year financials in January minutes.
All right, all in favor? Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so it's passed. So January meeting minutes and financial report are approved. So then the 2024. And
We just approved.
Do you want to, I did it all in one motion. Do you want a separate motion?
yeah, we need to approve the end of the year financials separate.
Okay.
So the 2024 end of year financial report. Any comments in the room? Any comments online? You got any comments, man? I know you already talked a little bit about it. You good? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the 2024 end of year financial report?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024 end of year financial report.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, it's passed. 2024 end of year financial report is approved. I'm getting distracted with her there. And...
Sorry about that.
All right, my mistake. All right, so that's that. So then committee reports, standing committee reports. Boat ramp, is John available? John Katzen?
He is not online.
All right, I don't think there's a whole lot going on it. The boat ramp or the boat dock is high and dry, so it's gonna take some rain, take spring. Golf course, Jeff Luna, are you available?
They're having problems still, and she's gonna try and get on her phone, but they're not online right now.
All right, well, once again, I think about the same thing applies. There's nobody out playing golf right now, so if he has something important, he can send it to the board or post it on Facebook. Welcome committee. I don't think we actually have anybody that's shown interest with providing their name, seriously, providing their name, so.
I'm gonna throw my name into the hat for this summer. If nobody has done anything, then I will be glad to take it back on.
All right. So write yourself down, Joanne.
I wrote myself down, and I'll have new knees by that time, so it should work well.
So you can walk to everybody's house.
Yes. And Kim and
Alright.
Jeff are back on. I don't know if you want to ask about the golf course committee.
All right, Jeff, you got anything about the golf? Jeff Lynn, do you have anything for the golf course committee? We'll assume that's a no. Firewise, Carla Slaymaker.
I don't have anything.
She has nothing. Parks and Rec, Kurt is at the KU game right now, or K-State game. They don't want to talk about the KU part of the game. Let's see, Sherman Township, Tracy Sabo. She don't.
She is not online.
Okay. Golf course prairie management, Laura Mendenhall.
Yes, I'll report for Laura. She's got a question. Can the grass committee start looking at areas on the golf course for a prescribed burn this spring? They would plan to coordinate with the fire department again like last year. Is there any problem with that?
Oh, put something together and give it to let us look at it before we sign it, but yeah, that'd be great.
Perfect.
Cool. And then equipment, once again, that's Kurt. Not a lot going on with equipment right now. So sewer lagoon update. Did this thing get sent out to everybody? Did not, you added this.
It's uploaded
Okay,
on
it
the
did.
website.
Okay, so the sewer lagoon update, and I'm gonna speak because Joanne's voice doesn't sound great.
Thank you.
It actually is a very good update. If you haven't seen it, basically it says all grant funding through the small town water and sewer infrastructure assistance program has been executed and finalized. With the recent discussion of potentially limited accessibility of federal funding. This is from the county. We are keeping a close eye on any updates from the federal government for this project and others. As of right now, we believe the programs will continue to be operate as they normally would. The portal for funding is currently still active as of last week. So that's good news. SFR funding, and we have reached the final steps of the state revolving fund application process and are nearing finalizing this loan program. Any updates on this loan will be shared as they are received. This funding will cover cost in excess of the grant funding awarded if needed, and consists of a loan with a potential loan forgiveness. So that's good news. Project, this is the timeline here. The engineer consultant is working on finalizing the designs and plans, the working with KDHE for final approval. Once approved by all interested agencies, the project construction can be sent to bid. The design is expected to be finalized in early to mid-summer, with the construction to begin late summer and completed around the end of 2025. SMH has continued to meet the reporting requirements of both KDHE and EPA regarding progress and timeline, informing them of any changes to anticipated completion dates. We are looking forward to the construction this year, and will of course keep the University Park updated with any new project developments. So that's all good news. You know, I actually walked there on the course a little bit this week, and it just seems like we'll keep the course open and the disc golf open until we get closer to the construction time, and then we'll talk about how we have to shut it down. Joanne, I think that maybe we need to post something to on that disc golf course deal there, that to remind them that the course will be shut down later this year during the construction phase, and all the holes behind the firehouse, everything on this side is going to be inaccessible during the construction phase for safety.
Which holes are those, James?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Have to look at the map or look online or whatever, but it's everything behind the firehouse, everything.
5 and 6.
For
No, no.
golf, but disc golf.
Oh, disc golf.
Yeah, I mean, the ball golf 5 and 6 definitely 2 are done, but I'm more concerned, you know, the number of people that come out here on the disc golf, they won't know. And the other thing, go ahead.
With that, maybe we should have a conversation about people paying annual fees, or, I mean, it's $30. I don't think anyone's gonna complain, but if there is any pushback on that, maybe that.
Well,
Becomes a conversation.
I mean, who knows if it'll even get done this year? It should. I would say we need to publicize it now so they know if they choose to pay, they may opt out and choose to pay individual trips versus the annual fee. But I was also thinking about tournaments. You know, if these folks are going to plan any tournaments in July and August, you know, they probably should be planning earlier, was the other thing about getting it posted out there so they would know.
Okay, so I've got 2 emails, I believe, to 2 different organizations. That's what you want me to send to them, right?
Well, I mean, I only know one organization, right? It's just a disc golf. They
I
have a
think there's
Facebook
2
page.
I think there's 2 different ones.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Let-
sure, but that's what you want me to do, is let them know, or, okay.
That way they're aware of it. And if they have any question, you know, tell them to contact the board, give them the board's email, you know, they
Yeah.
can contact us. Cool. Real house management search is still on hold. Firehouse building, the new firehouse building, the building packages arrived. Still waiting on Riley County counselor to prepare the 1-page license that gives Evergy the Riley County permission to have the electric line over UP property. We will sign it once we receive it. And then, we're also waiting for them to hook up the water back to the clubhouse. So I will push them, this month, you know, because I noticed in March, it's going to be nice, and we're going to be upper 50s and some 60s for most of the month. So it's spring is in March, it looks like this year. Anyway, I will take care of that. Legal discussion. Is that where we are?
Yep.
Legal discussion. So, okay, talked to the attorney today, Joe Knopp. He said he would send over the documents before the meeting for the UP to sign concerning reconciliation of the HUD investigation and withdrawal of the civil case. The board will sign the reconciliation docs when they are received, if they are what we have previously discussed. Once documents concerning withdrawal of the civil case have been received, the determination will be made if a special meeting needs to be called. But we haven't seen that. The documents were not sent. We did not get them. I did speak to him today, and he said they were coming. So I'm going to contact him tomorrow. and again, and see if they're coming tomorrow. That's it though. That's the only update I have on that. Any comments from anywhere online? Okay,
So if he said he was doing docs for reconciliation, does that mean she withdrew her withdrawal?
I got the impression by the phone conversation that she has signed the document and that HUD is sending us the final document for us to sign.
So she did withdraw,
Yes, that is the impression I got on the phone.
so it's not conciliation, it's just,
The thing is withdrawn.
yes.
That's the impression that I got.
Okay.
So, but, it was on the phone, so
And he used the word reconciliation, so I don't know.
he did, but he said it was withdrawn, so I
Yeah.
won't know, we won't know
Until
till
we
I
see
see
the
it.
document.
Okay. New business. Oh, I'm sorry, Haywood Park sign, I did let McNulty know that the funding's available for him, and I haven't heard anything back, so I assume he's working on it, or he'll hit us when he has questions, so. New business, approval of the 2025 meeting and picnic dates. So. The dates are published, I'm not gonna read them all, they're all on this page you got sent out. Were there any discussion concerning the dates or any major conflict that, Yes,
I think we should change the November 11th one.
who are you?
Veterans Day. I'm Carla Flaymaker.
Okay, Carla, go ahead.
I think we should change the November 11th to some other day since it's Veterans Day. But I don't know if everybody else thinks that, but I just think we should consider it.
Yeah,
Do we
so,
wanna push it to just Thursday that week, or do you wanna do a whole week later and do the week after?
so the 11th is already pretty late in the month, why don't we just go the next day or Thursday, either Wednesday or Thursday, I don't care.
Let's do Thursday.
There it is. Thursday sounds good. Joanne, how's Thursday sound?
Thursday's great. What's that date? November 13th then?
Yep,
Okay, because I'll
Alright.
update the website.
Any other conflicts people see or concerns?
July 8th is the weekend right after 4th of July. Do we wanna keep that one?
So,
If
so,
anyone travels out of town or
okay, so July 8th, so 4th of July is on a what day then, a Friday?
Friday?
So that means people will be running Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's still Tuesday. Yeah, I think we should be okay on the 8th, I think. I don't see anything else. How about the picnic dates? Anything on the picnic dates? Holiday wise or anything?
All look good to me.
Okay. So. Sound like that's in the discussion, so do we have a motion to accept the 2025 meeting and picnic dates as listed on the agenda with the one change on November the 13th date?
I motion that we approve the suggested meeting dates and picnic dates with the exception of November meeting on the 13th.
I second.
Right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's, motion carries as listed. Proposed 2025 fee structure. So the annual parks usage fee, including ball and disc golf, is $100. It was $100 last year also. Annual fee for disc golf, $30. It was also $30 last year. Annual disc golf fee with golf cart. And we're gonna use the same logo as last year with a new color and the new year. And that's $100, which was the same as last year. Ball golf, disc golf, daily fee, $5, same as last year. Is there any discussion on the fee structure for ball and disc golf?
Can we just make this a little bit more clear? When I was getting the money in last year, I had probably half a dozen people that sent me like $200 or $230 or $130. Cause they thought it was the 100 for the family plus the 30 for golf, plus 100 to use a cart.
Okay.
And it's So I think the first one and the third one on here can just be combined into the same thing. It's called annual parks usage, that includes ball, it includes disc, and it includes a cart or no cart, so there's essentially no extra fee for having a cart. And then on the second one, annual fee for disc golf, that's for non-residents, correct? So can we add the word non-resident?
Hold
If
on,
you're
Or walkers, or, right, or.
if you don't have a cart and you only do disc golf and don't do ball golf, there used to be residents out here that only paid $30. Cause that's all
Okay.
they did, so. I see what you're saying, though, it needs to be called out, if you pay the $100, you're good for everything, you don't have to pay for the others.
Right,
That's where the confusion is, right, you're paying. Okay.
they're like
So,
doubling up.
yeah, and doubling up.
Since they
Uh,
see it listed 2 or 3 times, they're trying to pay all 2 or 3 of those things together.
So where do we post this at? Besides, this agenda, I mean, it's gonna be in the minutes, but where else do we post? It's on the,
It's on the
Facebook.
website.
and it's on
That's
the
on the
website.
page.
Okay, so I agree, it's easy stuff to fix, and we should fix it, we had the same problem too, occasionally people would pay double and stuff. We just need to make sure to fix them all at the same time, so it ain't gonna happen tonight, but once we agree on the dollar, they just all need to be corrected and use that new language, so there won't be less confusion, so. I think we can vote on the dollars and then we can fix the language,
Okay,
after, it does need to be fixed, 100%, I agree.
So will you help me fix that language then? Sarah, just whatever,
Yeah.
or either one, I can do it on the website if you help me with that. So would you like a motion? Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, do you wanna discuss it further right now, or do you wanna,
No, I think you can just fix it,
okay,
with the dollars is what we vote on, the language, you guys can clean it up.
okay. So I also wasn't aware that residents could pay just $30 for just disc. I thought that was a non-resident
No,
disc fee, okay.
if that's all they do, and I know we actually had some folks, they don't live there, that's all they did, and they paid for that.
Okay.
Okay, so, any other discussion on that? Okay, so is there a motion to set the annual parks usage fee as discussed above? With the new language?
I make a motion to set the parks usage fee as discussed on the agenda, and we'll correct the language also, but the fees are great.
All right, is there a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Cool. All right, next one's a burn pile. It was $25 last year. It looks like the budget can handle the same $25 to continue that. Any discussion on that?
Nope.
Cool. So is there a motion to set the burn pile fee at $25 for 2025?
Do we also, in this meeting, need to consider if we're going to grant free burn pile access to the volunteer firefighters?
Yeah, it's separate down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I make a motion that we approve the annual burn pile fee at $25.
Oh, second? I
I'll
second.
Okay, second, and, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, next thing is, will the community continue to provide complimentary annual parks usage and burn pile access to volunteer firefighters and support personnel? And last year we did give 8 of those. So discussion wise, Joanne, do you have any idea how many there is this year? Is it
How
8
many-
still?
It's probably roughly 8, and I will tell you this, because I'm on all the calls, I advocate to give them for free, maybe not for me, but for others, because they work their rears off. I cannot get over the hours and hours they spend. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I think they do a great job for the community and for the surrounding communities, personally.
Is the number of people gonna change once the new station is built?
Yeah, good question.
I don't believe so. They do need to get more volunteers, and they're trying to quietly recruit, but I don't think the numbers are going to change.
Significantly.
No.
Is there, like a max slotted numbers? Do you know, Joanne?
I don't know. I think where we're having a problem is everybody's working, and so when there is a call during the the day and a person's at work and can't come. So we're having a shortage and they're having to pull from other areas. So that's why I would guess they're gonna try and do some more recruiting. But that's just a guess. I could ask Brian what his thoughts are. But just
Okay.
because of the better station, no, that won't change, make them want more. It's more because the people are, it's not retired people that are the volunteers.
Okay, all right. Is there any other discussion from community?
I support it.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so is there a motion to give complimentary annual parks usage and burn pile access to the volunteer firefighters and supporting personnel for 2025?
I make a motion that we give complimentary burn pit access to the volunteer firefighters for the year.
Okay, is
But
there
not the annual parks usage.
Oh, yeah, both.
both? Roger that, and the annual parks usage fee. Roger that. Okay, and is there a second to approve
I
both?
second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
I
Aye. Good, motion carries. The mail payments in there. Mowing. Let's see, mowing contracted. This is what I recommend, and actually, Sarah, I guess if you have other thoughts on this too, but anyway, the way I have it written here, contracted mowing remain at $75 per lot per mow. Normally, we're mowing 3 times per year, which is $225. That's for the contract. Is there a discussion on that?
I don't have any.
It looks like
Hmm.
we got around $1,300 on the contract mowing last year in 2024. And I do think it's a little bit less than the previous years. I think part of that is people are mowing it themselves now, or they found other means to get it mowed. I don't notice that we are doing or more non-compliant lot mowing, on the lots that used to contract us.
That's
Like some of
great.
the lots have sold, actually is what happened. I know on Lakeview, and the new buyers are mowing it themselves. I know specifically that's a couple of them. So anyway. Okay, so is there any discussion on the contracted mowing cost from the community? With the board?
Nope.
No,
Okay. Is there a motion to set the contracted mowing fee at $75 per lot per mow?
I make a motion to set the contracted mowing fee at $75 per lot per mow.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, good, motion carried. So non-compliant lot owners per county regulation remaining at $150 per lot per month. So, and this is the same fee that we charged last year. So is there a discussion from the community for that price? How about from the board?
Nope.
So it looks like it said we got $300 for non-compliant mowing fees in 2024. It looks like we get about half of what we submit for is what's getting paid, and the other ones are not being paid, meaning that the property owners are not paying their taxes and they're growing in arrears on the mowing charges and on their taxes. So one day when it goes to a tax sale, if it sells for more than the taxes, the county will take their tax money first, and then they will give us the remaining, if whatever our amount is on the mowing, and then whatever's left after that, they give back to the property owner. So, we may still get money for that someday, or we may get nothing. So, but at least it's mowed and it's fire-wise, we're better off community-wise. So, okay.
Absolutely.
Any more discussion on that? All right, doesn't sound like it. So is there a motion to set the non-compliant lot owner's mowing fee at $150 per lot per mow?
I make a motion that we set the non-compliant lot mows at $150 per lot per mow.
Is there a
And I
second?
second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, pass 3-0. Okay. Let's see here. Discuss pickleball basketball court construction. So Kurt did get a hold of me and said that we have gotten all of the funding now that we have asked for. The funding, the dollar amount that we sent like 3 years ago, we have now received all of that dollar. I don't know what it is. I don't have it in front of me. It's like 45,000, or it's a
It's
lot.
a lot.
Yeah. it's not gonna be enough to do what we wanted to do 3 years ago. Price of concrete back then, I think was $130 a yard, and I've heard $180 a yard now, so I don't know exactly, it's gonna be a lot more. So I assume we're still gonna proceed, would be my thought, and I
I
would.
forget who brought it up in the November meeting, but it was somebody from the audience had like a small rural Parks and Rec grant type thing program
Jim.
that
Jim
they,
Jackson.
okay. I have that pamphlet yet at my office in town. And so when we get closer to that, I can start digging into that more and see if that's an option for us
See if we can get
to
some.
explore.
So what I recommend is that, obviously the money's there, it's a use it or lose it situation, is the first step is pour concrete, get the slab down. And then if for some reason we don't have enough money to buy the basketball goals, we don't have enough money to put the pickleball nets in, we put the anchor points in for all those things, but maybe we don't buy all that stuff this year. Or maybe University Park writes the check or part of the check, or maybe we get funding from somewhere else. So I guess the thing is we just need to commit now. Are we going to commit to pouring the concrete minimum this year? There should be plenty of money for that.
I think at minimum, yes.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I agree. How about any other discussion in the community? Okay, so we don't need to vote on it, really. We already voted to do it. We're just kind of talking about it as a general. So we will proceed then when it warms up in the spring. We can keep our costs down considerably if we have volunteers, that have equipment to prep the site and to spread the millings around, or the scalpings around we can save some money, and we're gonna have to save some money because we're gonna run out. There's no doubt we're gonna run out this time. So anyway, we can work together, those that have some equipment and maybe you'll be willing to spend some of their own time and money to help get the thing done. So, but we can wait till it warms up. Okay. I think that is it. Is there any other discussion?
The only thing is Jerry McCabe.
Hello, Gary.
The only thing I would like to put forward, because I was on the volunteer fire department here for about 15 years. Is on our last snowplow, you ended up with 4 foot high, 6 foot wide. Snowplow across your driveway and in front of the fire hydrants. Having somebody, neighborhood kid, if you guys can find in the budget somewhere, if they go along and clean out those, so that the fire department doesn't have to go up over the 4 foot. And clean it out 2 foot around,
Yeah,
pay them to do it, because. People don't think about fires out here,
Yeah.
We need to.
we need to,
okay.
because I did most of Lakeview drives. From the one across from my house clear over to Kurt's house. I just had the blade on the front of the Ranger and I pulled it all out as far as best I could, and then went in with a shovel. And did about a 2 foot round, away from the fire hydrant, so that. They didn't have to climb over that tall deal, because middle of the night, it's icy, it's slippery, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, I did the one in front of mine. On my property, but I know what you're saying. Okay, I think it's a lot to do the day before it snows, which is.
Well,
tonight.
I
So,
would have been here last month, but I was in Kansas City
Yeah.
babysitting, so.
Could we just put it in the notes to remind people at this time to take a look at when the snows happen, make sure the fire hydrants are cleared out in your neighborhood?
yeah, so let's do two things then. That's a good idea. Why don't you do that? And then, Joanne, if you can get a hold of the county and ask that county guy, not county, ask the township guy to have him drop the blade for one. And at least he sees those hydrants there too, and ask him to pull the snow.
Away from.
Try not pile it up directly in front of the hydrants. That'd be a big help if he could do that for us. Because then if somebody has to go out and shovel, it's a lot less to shovel versus a 3 foot pile.
Right. Okay,
So
he just
Go
needs
ahead.
to drop the blade when he comes around the fire hydrant so that,
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to tell him how to do his job, but in my opinion, that's what I would say. If he just drops his blade and drags it across the front there and piles it up on the other side of the hydrant, that's
Yeah.
all we need. Recognizing it may cause a problem for some driveways. Well, you know what? It's
Yeah.
unfortunate, but the hydrants are important for everybody. So, you know, yeah, okay, so you good for that, to talk to the township on that, mention
I'm
that?
good for that, and I'll also post something on Facebook, just reminding people that was a good point made about the fire hydrants.
Yeah, and as far as the other, I mean, I don't know, it seems like, I mean, hopefully it's the last snow, it's the last snow I have to deal with on the board, so.
It's
It's
Kansas.
not like a next board for paying somebody to do it, but, you know, you know. It's,
Don't make no weird-
it's also about weed eating and mowing in front of your hydrants too.
Include that in the snow removal.
Yeah, that's true. You might as well include that in there too. I know it's, you know, just that we're talking about hydrants, you know. Be thoughtful of mowing around, weed eating around it so the fire department can get access to them. Yeah, it's good.
We'll do it. You know, are we allowed to go on neighbors' property? Though, you know that,
Okay, but the hydrants are in the township ditches. There are no hydrants on anyone's property and there's
Okay.
no way. I mean, no one can ever say anything about that.
okay, I just was wondering, because the one on Bayview Circle is like 10 feet in their yard. It's,
Well, yeah, because their yard's in the road. That's
Yeah.
different.
okay,
All right.
thank you.
I think we need to leave the meeting open for do I hear a motion to leave the meeting open for an executive session to discuss legal matters if needed?
I make a motion that we adjourn the public meeting and leave it open for executive session.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Okay, it's been approved to to close this meeting and to leave the open for an executive session if needed. We did not hold one last month. I think that's it. Anything else? Nope. Thank you all.